The people at Staples fear me. Hello, hi, welcome or welcome back to Mia Likes Movies. My name is Mia and I like movies. I like a lot of other things too, but Mia Likes Movies just sounded the best. I've been looking at my analytics recently and a lot of people have been watching my psychoanalyzing your Baldur's Gate romance choices that I made, like a video that I made like 6 or 7 months ago, and guys, that video sucks. The video sucks for multiple reasons. One, technologically speaking, it sucks. I was using a bad camera. I didn't like how I structured the video. Like, why did I talk about the game? Because obviously, if you're all coming there, you know about the game. 3, I hadn't even finished playing the game yet, and I was talking all this crap. But now, I've finished 2 full playthroughs, one of which was a Dark Urge, and I've started multiple other playthroughs and I've made it through Act 2. Act 3 just really stresses me out sometimes, so I don't always finish the game. And I think it's finally time to give you guys an updated psychoanalyzation of all of your Baldur's Gate romance choices. Oh, and I cut my hair. Let's get into it. But before we go, like and subscribe because I have these ears and this headband glued to my head right now. I glued this headband to my forehead. Let's get into it. First, we're starting off strong. Shadowheart. Yes, it's small, okay? I wasn't gonna pay for big ass posters. I'm a teacher, okay? I make below the poverty line. And yes, this is selenite, okay? What else did you expect? I broke it. Oh, that's not good. Okay, we're back. And I have clear quartz now as my pointy thing. The vibes are bad, I guess. Shadowheart is objectively hot to all genders. She's got the goth thing going on with the black hair, micro bangs, and eyeliner. Well, not technically goth, right? This is like what preppy boys think goth is, but it's just like a hot indie alt girl who listens to Phoebe Bridgers, which is not a bad thing. I said this in my last video. I originally bought the game to romance Shadowheart. Tough nut to crack. It's very secretive. She's got a lot of trauma. Playing through her whole story, you know, it's not her fault. You can't blame her for that. Obviously, she has a lot of religious trauma, and maybe you identify with that. Maybe you don't. I don't. I didn't grow up religious, so I just thought she was hot. If you like Shadowheart, you like alt baddies who are really closed off. You're also probably gay. Gay. Next up, of course, we gotta go to get the Yankee baddie Lae'zel. The next logical option. Don't ask me why I'm putting them where I'm putting them, okay? There's no logical option here. This is just the only blank wall I had in my house, and I thought this would be fun, okay? This is very like Mike's Mike. Very Nicole Raffi, right? That's her name? So, Lae'zel. She's a soldier. She's a little bit mean. Maybe you like your women to be mean. She's strong. You know, she's not necessarily committal. In all honesty, I haven't played through her romance options because that kind of vibe is not something I'm into. I know a lot of people think it would be. I've been accused of that, but alas, it's not. People have told me in the last video that she's very much a soldier, obviously, and that influences a lot of how she views romance as well. She's funny. People don't talk about this. Lae'zel is funny, like teethling. Like, I know that's a cultural difference and she's saying it wrong, but her reaction to you correcting her is very funny. And we love it when the girls are fighting, okay? And maybe you're into that, okay? I'm not judging. She's hot. The voice is hot. But what does it say about you if you like this? Well, obviously you just want someone to peg you. And even if Lae'zel doesn't peg you canonically in the game, she gives off that vibe, okay? I don't make the rules. Also, you're gay. Very obviously, Lae'zel and Shadowheart are like the only gay girls in high school, one of whom is an alternative theater baddie, the gay girl on the field hockey team. And they have beef because they're both gay in high school. But also they fuck. So that's my headcanon. Maybe you disagree. Curveball. Next up is Gale. Oh my god, why did I pick this picture? It's so dark and mysterious. I'm putting Gale in the dark corner where he deserves. Just kidding. I love Gale. I think I said this in the last video as well, but Gale, if like this was real, this as in Baldur's Gate, or if I was in the Baldur's Gate universe, this would be who I end up with. Look at all my Hinge or all my Bumble matches. It's him. He's just so silly and fun and a little nerdy, and Tim Downey does a really good job. I feel like Gale, you like your men with profound sadness behind the eyes, brown eyes, cow eyes, if you will. And that's not like even in like a I want to dominate them type way, but just like there's something poetic about loving a man with profound sadness. Not depression, just an air of yearning. Also has citizenship in Yap City. He's a yapper. And honestly, I don't have a problem with that. If you want to yap at me, I don't care. As long as you're Hitting it right. No, but if you like Gale, obviously you like nerdy, geeky guys. It's not that complicated. Like, this is he's a human, you know, human wizard. He likes books. He has a cat.
She's a tressum.
Literally every guy gay. How did that get there? I meant to say every guy on Hinge in Philadelphia, but I mean, since it slipped. If you like Gale, you're gay. If you're a bisexual woman, obviously you're attracted to this, which means you're gay. I love him. When he talks, I'm just like, oh, Gale. So lame. Karlach's next. Where should I put her? That looks horrible. I did not put any thought into this. Just said I'm gonna go off the dome. Karlach. That's a bad bitch, okay? I mean, the obvious things here is that she's a big mommy, big fire mommy, but she's so silly and goofy and lovely. There is absolutely zero downsides to Karlach, and it's just a good story, right? The one thing about all the characters, the playable characters, is that all of their stories circle around the idea of like power, the abuse of power, specifically if you're a subordinate, Karlach being the subordinate to both Zariel and Gortash, and the manipulation that goes into that. So it's a really good story. And her romance scenes are just so sweet, in this idea that like physical intimacy is something that has to be built with her, like quite literally built with like infernal iron. You know what? I know I talked about yearning here with him, but God, she yearns. Obvious thing here is that if you like Karlach, you want to be absolutely squashed, toppled, and like just fucking decked romantically, sexually maybe. But also, she's just good. You like fun, and you're probably gay. What's gayer than that? Above mommy, come on. Lesbian. I'm starting to fear that this joke was funnier in my head. Logically, Wyll makes sense to go next, right? I said it before and I said it again. Where are my Wyll girls at? He's so underrated, and I don't want to say it's for obvious reasons, but let's just say there's a lot of racists. Let's hype up Wyll. Let's hype up Theo. This is romance. Classic romance. Classic in the literal, like, classic romance sense. Romanticism. Dancing and being the son of a duke. He wants to do it right. You know, maybe you just want a prince to sweep you off your feet. And he's not a prince, sure. Maybe he does kind of turn into a devil because he does make a pact with the devil, which makes him an interesting character, right? Like, when I was first kind of introduced to Wyll, and I didn't really know anything about Wyll except like some general things, I had assumed he was a paladin just because of the vibes, and to find out he's a warlock makes his character so much deeper, right? Like, this idea that he saved his village, saved his father by selling his soul to a demon. Like, that's a guy with a backstory. And you know, if you like Wyll, you probably do like your guys with a little bit of like a dark past. Like, you want the good guy, but has like baggage in a sexy way, in a romantic way. There's nothing wrong with that. And you know, honestly, that's pretty straight. Wah, wah. There's nothing straighter than selling your soul to the devil. Obviously, I'm fucking joking. You're gay. What's gayer than romance? Nothing. Being romantic as hell is gay. Having daddy issues? Gay. I know I said in my last video that Wyll was very straight aligned, and that was honestly, quite frankly, very ignorant of me. Just because I don't necessarily want all the fluffy kind of romance scenes that he has in the dancing doesn't mean it's not gay. It just means it's not me. And I can acknowledge that. But Wyll is hot and deserves more. If you have a problem with Wyll, you have to fight me first. And I'm a brown belt in Taekwondo. So I guess the next logical step from there is Mizora. I mean, she's hot, so you can't like really romance her. You can canoodle, wink wink, but honestly I can never bring myself to do it because it hurts Wyll's feelings. And I love Wyll. He's like my bestie. He doesn't know me, but that's my best friend. But a girl has eyes. Mizora's hot. She's sexy and she's funny. You don't really get anything out of this. Like, to me, if you romance Mizora, you don't really care for the two objectively like good characters. But you know what that does sound like? Pretty toxic. And you know what is basically a synonym for toxic? Y'all know where I'm going with this. Gay. What straight woman would wear that? No straight woman has that style, that swagger. I've never met a straight woman. I just looked into her eyes and I got distracted. I've never met a straight woman, period. You do it for the plot and you're a toxic gay and there's nothing I can do about that. Perhaps we fundamentally disagree on things, but whatever. Also, when those two other girlies show up, when they're like talking about Wyll's contract, like, you just have two girls that you can just summon. That sounds pretty gay to me. Everyone knows that any girl friendship of 3, at least one of them has a crush on another one. Because I think statistically speaking, I'm just making shit up, at least one of them has to be gay. What am I even saying? Let's move on. I mean, come on. What is there to say that hasn't been said? That's not right. What is there to say that hasn't been said already about this beautiful, beautiful man? I never intended to fall in love with Astarion. It just happened. I know a lot of other TikTok. Just kidding. And there's nothing wrong with that, okay? If you found out about Astarion on TikTok, that's fine. It literally is a video game and they're not real. What Neil Newbon did, that is acting. Yes, they're all very good actors, but I don't know. The writers really put their Russie into writing Astarion's character, and then to have Neil Newbon cast as Astarion and do what he did, and then also to have him look like that and be a vampire. I mean, obviously, we're all gonna go feral. You liked Astarion. You probably liked Twilight when you were younger. I was a Twilight girly, unfortunately for everyone. There's just something inherently romantic and intimate and sensual about vampires, just because the way they feed, right? Like the idea of like the neck. So he has that going for him. Obviously, he's objectively beautiful. He also has profound sadness behind the eyes, but only when you get close to him. And I like a chase. When the chase ends and they start chasing back, that's when I leave. But he always kind of plays a little dirty, and I like that. He's gay. He's gay.
He's gay, but he has a special connection to classical music.
This is a twink. This is a twunk. And this is a bear. That's my 12. That's my twink elf, okay? What does it say about you if you like Astarion? Well, you have problems. And you're gay. Because he's gay. So I have to put the label up. You know that, right? Even lesbians like him. And yes, perhaps he's trying to seduce you at the beginning. But it's for his own safety and it's because of trauma. And that's okay with me. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's also the problem with you. Next up. Halsin. I had to put him out as a bear. He go up there because he tall. Daddy issues. Someone commented on my last video, do you mean daddy issues in a bad way? Is there a good way? Is there a good way to have daddy issues? If there is, let me know. I would love to hear it. My dad watches my videos. Love you, Dad. I mean, he's a tall, fatherly figure. Very good looking. Very buff. And he calls himself Daddy Halsin. So obviously, like, there's something there. I don't know what else you want me to say. And, like, the bear scene, I mean, like, you haven't thought about it? Would you furry? I've thought about it. You want to be dominated. You want to be ravished. You want to be absolutely devoured. But he's also just, like, really sweet. And when he whittles the duck for you and gives it to you, it's like, gift giving's my love language. And maybe gift giving's your love language, too. Maybe that's what that means. But also, I did say he was a bear in the gay sense. No, because would he be more of like a muscle otter or like a wolf, right? Like, wouldn't that technically be more it? Because, yeah, he's kind of hairy, but he's also an elf. Like, he's a wood elf, and elves aren't really hairy. Someone who's like the G in LGBT, let me know in the comments below. Anyway, moving on. Next up, I love the drow, okay? They would have to be my favorite race. It sounds so weird to say that. I do love playing as the drow. I think they have some of the most interesting interactions in the game. She's evil. She's hot. And her voice. And yes, she does have you murder all of the refugees and all the druids. And the scene, the first time I played that, because I never watched someone play that scene where they murder all the refugees in the name of the absolute with Mizora. Did I call her Mizora? Minthara. Oh my god. I never watched someone play that scene with Minthara where she has you like decimate the entirety of the grove. So I played through it for the first time with my friends on a co-op game, and watching all the refugees cower in literal fear, like having that debuff, and then murdering them is insane. That's an insane moment to have you play that. I felt horrible. And I was like, well, I've already committed. And I know there's other ways to recruit her now, but that's not the way God intended. God intended you to murder those refugees. That scene, oh my god. Another thing that I didn't look up beforehand was Minthara's romance scene. This was me the entire time. I beat one out to it. Just kidding, I did not. But that's a lesbian. The lesbian scene with Minthara is so much better than the straight one. I watched them both, obviously. And if you like Minthara, you're probably a lesbian. You know, I had to do it to him. So I have one character left. Guess who it is? It's the Emperor. I don't know why this picture turned out like this. He's been banished to the corner. I hate him. Guys, I don't know how you can like the Emperor. All of you guys that... I really hope you are doing it for the plot, because he disgusts me. Also, he's manipulating you. And not even like in a fun way like Astarion does. Like, not even like in a way that feels justified. Like, you're manipulating me because you want my brain. Like, when you tell the Emperor that you don't trust him, he just goes, fine, I'm gonna side with the absolute then. Bro, what? As if we didn't just spend the last like 40 hours trying to take them down. Now suddenly you're going to switch sides. I hated that guy. Hate him. And when he just casually, like, non-consensually is like, has no shirt on, and you're like, whoa. I don't want to see your mind flayer. What? Are you kidding me? And then the scene. You're sucking off his tentacle. What? Bro, you doing it for the achievement? Is it worth it? Yes, the Dream Guardian is hot. Yes, the voices for the Dream Guardians, no matter what gender you choose for them, is hot. Him? I can't even say anything else. Like, I just, like, there's no redeeming qualities here. He's manipulating you. He manipulates Duke Stelmane. And for why? You're like, oh, to save the world. He doesn't really care. He doesn't care, because in the end, if you tell him you don't trust him, that you're gonna free Orpheus in the name of the Githyanki for Lae'zel, he just goes with absolute anyway. He doesn't give a shit about you. You're a victim. You know what that means? It's mental illness in it. I will not be getting that achievement. I cannot stand that thing. I genuinely can't. Like, any scene with him, I'm just like, oh, come on. Oh, bro. Oh, I didn't even mention. Oh my God. When they reveal, one, that he's Baldur of Baldur's Gate. Huh? This was literally me. I was like, cool. Is that supposed to make me like him? Bro, no. And then that answer and him. Bro, tunnel buddies. Like, no. Guys, no. We're not doing this. I know a lot of you guys are monsters. I know a lot of you are, but I thought we meant like werewolf, vampire, sexy sea creature that Guillermo del Toro comes up with, you know, like that kind of stuff. This, you know that like squids in real life are smart, like they can open peanut butter jars. Would you? Because I feel like you would if like you don't draw a line here. You're mentally ill. So unfortunately, we have reached the end of the video, and as you can see here, I think we've come to the conclusion that if you like Baldur's Gate, oh, Mizora, fix your crown, queen, it's falling. If you like Baldur's Gate, you're probably gay. I mean, like, is there anything straight about any of these characters? No, that's all I have to say. How'd that get there? This is you. I don't have anything else to say. That's the punchline. This whole video, however long it ends up being, that's the punchline. Is that you're gay. Was it worth it? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little update. Teehee haha. Guys, fun fact, I'm officially a YouTube partner now. I know, it's crazy. Thank you guys so much. So I have officially launched memberships on my channel for, I believe it's $2.99 a month. Become a member, a Mia Likes member, if you will. You get input on what videos I do, priority replies, but check it out if you want to support me. I'd really appreciate it. That'd be great. Obviously you don't have to, but if you do and you like my content, buy me a coffee, you know, like that's cool, and I'd really appreciate it. Also, super chats and things like that are now launched too, so that's really cool, really fun, really exciting. I really enjoy doing this. Again, make sure to like, subscribe. Those are free. I do let's plays and video essays on and off every other week for this channel. If that's something you're interested in, I have a Resident Evil Village video coming up that I'm really excited for. I've been working on that for a really long time. That'll be the next video essay, I think. Don't quote me on that. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. I love you guys so much. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.